Good, good. You know, it's really more of a mindset. It's not going for an hour in the morning, and a lot of it is the mental part of training in the morning. Mentally tougher, mentally stronger, not letting go of the rope, stuff like that. And it's good. Practice good yesterday. But it's what we need right now.
Cal, how do you decide how hard to go on an individual guy? Do you gauge who can take it and who can't, or do you generally treat them all the same in terms of pushing them?
As far as what?
It's true when you're trying to motivate, push, get something out of them.
You're talking about coaching guys?
Yeah.
Well, you coach them all different, but yet there's a bar that they all have to understand. They all get treated the same at a certain level. How you deal with some guys and how you deal with others. Some you're going at guys to see if they're really tough enough to make this. Other guys, you're trying to drag them to see if they have more in them. There comes a point when you look and say, he is what he is. And when you do that, you basically, now you just say, all right, let's get this guy to be the best that he can be. This is about what it is. I hate to ever get there with players. I want to make sure that we're challenging them and pushing them, but kids are different. They respond to different things. Yet, at the same sense, how you get a guy to play like he's supposed to play, they're different.
If you ever do get to that point with a guy, do you have to back off a little bit so he doesn't break?
It isn't about breaking. It's about that's as good as you can get. That's as good as you want to get. If I want more for you than you want it for yourself, this is where you're going to be. The thing is that what happens to that player in most cases is that you live with regret. Man, I could have, if I had just, and that's what you never want to live with. And you sit down and tell them. It ain't about anybody. I've never had anybody break. I mean, my guys all do better. They come in with an attitude that they want to get better, and that's what they do. I've seen guys really, get on guys. But there's a big difference when you have a good relationship with kids and they understand.
Ryan said he's been in the gym. He said he worked out on his own 3 times yesterday. He's also made an effort to reach out to his teammates to get them to accept him.
He's getting better. He's getting better. He needs to be in the gym with the coach that's pushing him. But he's getting better. He's got better in practice, and the team is starting to respond to him, which is what they need to do.
Did you feel like you had reached that point of he is what he is, as good as he can get?
With who?
With Josh Harrelson a couple years ago, and have you reached that with anyone on this team?
No, I haven't. No, Josh, I was all over Josh because Josh wanted to lighten up practice. So he'd do whatever he could to make practice funny. Because if he got everybody laughing, they weren't going to rip his head off, dunk on him, and take the ball from him, and outrun him, and let's all laugh. So believe me when I tell you, anytime he stopped and did stuff like that, he got buried. And then I called him out of what he was doing. Keeping it real means when guys are trying to get over, you got to stop the practice. Here's what you're doing right now, but you're not fooling anybody. You got to do it right. I mean, this team we got a good group of guys. We really do. They just don't know how hard you got to work or what kind of investment you have to make in this sport. I've always had a couple guys on the team that could drag others. We're still trying to find that mix. Part of what we're doing now is kind of a forced breakfast club. Now, you don't have to do the breakfast club. In this case, you are. And you hope at some point we stop, that a couple of these guys will continue, even if it's 2 or 3 days a week, that they'll continue to do it. But we're hitting in a stretch of hard. This game Saturday is a hard one to do. I just watched their Vegas game. They had Vegas beat. Very physical, very much a post-up team. They run their stuff. They execute. I hate to tell you, they look like Notre Dame to me. And they had Vegas beat. So I told our team, all that we've been working on, we're going to see now. If you're only doing it because I'm making you do it, or you're doing it because you want to change. Now, it'll be for everybody to see. Because if they're only doing it because I'm making them do it, at some point in the game they'll let go of the rope. If they're doing it because they know they have to change, they'll play a full game. Now, that doesn't mean you win Saturday, but it means when everybody watches, they leave the building and say, those dudes fought for 40 minutes. I can live with that. We're going to be fine. And I think that's the response you'll get.
Ryan said that you told him you're going back to your old school roots, maybe your UMass days with some of this stuff.
Yeah, I am. I mean, I'm just holding them accountable like I've had to do young teams. I mean, probably hold them more accountable than any other team. But no, the team that I've had here anyway, this team has the farthest to go. And it's not schemes, it's not offenses, it's a competitiveness, a will to win, and then holding each guy accountable for that. For example, we're practicing, shot goes up, guy drives, Nerlin goes to help, the guy doesn't help them. Doesn't help Nerlin. No, that's killed us all year. You see, oh, why didn't you go down? Well, you were what? All right, everybody in the baseline, let's run. All right. No, why didn't you throw it ahead? You took 2 extra bounces. You know we're throwing it ahead. Up on the baseline, let's run. Everybody. So they're running, they're being held accountable. So Sunday and Monday we ran 40 suicides.
Now, when you're recruiting these kids, can you tell which ones are going to work harder than others when you're recruiting?
You have a pretty good idea. But, again, none of them, the freshmen that I've coached, none of them work hard when they get here. It's after you get them here and they understand. In most cases, I'm going to be honest, what moves the young kids? Fear. Not fear of me. I'm not good enough. Oh my gosh, I thought I was the most fearful guy I've ever coached. Scared to death he wasn't good enough. Wasn't going to make it. It was Derrick Rose. Scared to death. Would stay in the gym 5 hours. Because Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, scared to death he wasn't good enough. So, after his first game or a couple exhibition games, I may have made a mistake. I don't think I'm good enough. That's what he's texting me from Charlotte. What? Are you kidding me, kid? You may not shoot it as well, you may not bounce it as well, but the things you do, no one else does. You just keep playing hard and competing. That's what you do. He was scared to death. The guys that think they're it, they've made it. I'll be honest, normally don't make it.
Kyle, you said you used the phrase intoxicated, and you included yourself in it. What did you see, or what have you seen that maybe told you that? What are you looking at?
Well, I knew all along we weren't as good. I'm reading everybody, we're top 5, we're top 3, we're this and that. I'm thinking, geez, we're just not that good. I don't know what everybody else is seeing. Maybe I'm missing something. Then you see where they're saying this player's this player's that. I'm like, you're not competing. The player talent doesn't even have to be equal. The team that wants it the most, 98% of the time is going to win. And you've got all this talent. It doesn't matter. It's who wants it the most. We've got to bring that out of them. So we all became intoxicated that we're good. This guy's going to know who I am, so he's not going to compete with me, which is the opposite of what happens. They play out of their minds because it's us and them as an individual. And so I think we all did. So basically, I've gone back to more roughhouse practices, which I normally don't like to do. And we've gone to the conditioning and stuff to get them in here to work on them mentally. We'll see. Guys, look, I'm pushing buttons now. And let me say this. When you start working and you go for 5 days, 6 days, I need results right now. No. Maybe a month and a half before you really see. So, that's one of my messages to the guys today. You don't change overnight. It took you a while to get like that. Now it's going to take you a while to get. You just got to keep grinding, and you'll see.
When you talk about that accountability, would you rather they hold each other accountable?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I mean, at the end of the day, that lack of that will fall back to me, and I hope that they will do it. But if they don't, then I'll do it. And I keep saying, when this team is empowered, I can sit back a little bit. Right now, being really hard and being really tough, and that's what they need. And if someone doesn't think he needs it, he's delusional. This is what we need. This is how we have to play. So, last question.
In your experience, how long does it take younger players to kind of get it? Is it a matter of months? Like say in a season, is it by January? Is it by February when you apply these kind of tactics to them?
They're all different. There's no set clock, but Brandon Knight had a comment out about how much pressure we put on him that got him to change and got him to think, and he put pressure on himself. That's the combination that works. It's not just what I'm doing. I don't have a magic wand. It's to, put them in the best position I can and get hard workers that are going to compete. Nothing's given to them here. Nothing's easy. I like the fact that somebody told me Anthony just put out something about coming back to school with Michael. These kids, they're coming here with an idea that, look, who knows how good I'm going to be, but I know this. I'm going to come here and work hard, both in the classroom and on the court. It's kind of like Eric Bledsoe and DeMarcus Cousins, all this stuff. Well, they're one and done, and this guy's not a one and done. Let me tell you, we don't talk that way. We don't know. No one knew Eric would do. No one knew what Josh would do with DeAndre Liggins. But when you look at those two, they worked their butts off to get themselves where they need. They did. They worked. We put them in a great position, and they were surrounded by their teammates that cared about them. But it's a combination of all that, and this may take us longer. We'll see. We're going to go day at a time, and we got the following week, we got the following week after that. We got more control of their time, and we'll try to take advantage of it.
What would you do if you did have a magic wand?
Be right where we are. I don't like this magic wand.